All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about how to unlock the real power of AI. And here's the secret. It's not about mastering some crazy complex prompts or learning how to code. Nope, it's all about a fundamental shift in how you think, moving from seeing AI as just another tool to seeing it as a creative teammate.
I love this quote because it's just so true, right? Our best ideas, those aha moments, they almost never happen when we're chained to our desks trying to force them. They just kind of pop into our heads when we're relaxed. And, there was one historical figure who was an absolute master of the bathtub brainstorm.
So, picture this. It's Winston Churchill. He's in the bath, but he's not just soaking. He is working. He's actually dictating a really important national address to his assistant who's right there in the next room, typing it all down. You can just imagine the back and forth. No, that's not the right word. Let's try this instead. Get to the point quicker.
But here's the thing. This assistant wasn't just a typist. She was a true collaborator. She totally got Churchill's unique way of speaking. She understood the whole context of the war, and she knew what he was trying to achieve. That deep understanding is what made them such a powerhouse team.
And this is where it gets really exciting for us. That kind of creative partnership, that kind of context-aware assistant, it's not just for world leaders anymore. Thanks to AI, every single one of us can have that. But there's a catch, isn't there? If this tech is so powerful, why isn't everybody a creative genius by now?
Well, that brings us to the heart of the problem. It's something researchers are calling the AI realization gap. There's this huge chasm between what AI can do and what most of us are actually getting out of it. And that gap explains why we're not all geniuses yet.
I mean, look at the research on AI's potential. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Studies are showing that when people use it the right way, they can see a 40% jump in the quality of their work. And they can get things done 25% faster. The promise is just incredible. But here's the reality. Less than 10%. Fewer than 1 in 10 working professionals are actually seeing those kinds of meaningful results. That's the realization gap right there in one stark number. All this potential on one side, and on the other, almost nobody is tapping into it. And you know what? It gets even weirder.
Get this. This is a bombshell from a study out of Stanford's D School. They found that for a lot of people, using AI was actually making them less creative. Can you believe that? Instead of opening up new possibilities, it was actually boxing them in. So what is going on? What separates that top 10% from everybody else?
The answer, turns out, all comes down to one simple but profound mental shift. The highest performers don't treat AI like a tool. They treat it like a teammate. And that one little change in perspective, it makes all the difference in the world. Okay, let's break this down. With a tool mindset, you just give a command. It's like putting a coin in a vending machine and pressing a button. If the output is bad, you either try to fix it yourself or you just get frustrated and walk away, thinking the machine is broken. You get stuck. But with a teammate mindset, you don't just give commands, you give context. You have a conversation. You give feedback to make the output better, just like you'd coach a colleague. And in that back and forth, that's where you discover totally new ideas. So this is the real test, right? When an AI gives you a kind of meh answer, what's your first instinct? A person with a tool mindset goes, this thing is useless. But a collaborator, someone with a teammate mindset says, okay, not bad for a first draft. Let's make it better. What if we tried this? What context are you missing? You see, you coach it, you work with it. So how do you actually do this? How do you make that shift? It's not just some vague idea. Let's get practical. Here's a collaboration playbook with 3 concrete strategies you can literally start using today. All right, strategy number 1. Now, our default is to ask AI questions, right? But the best collaborators, they flip the script. Instead of being the only one asking questions, they get the AI to interview them. Think about it. Any good teammate asks clarifying questions before they jump into a big task. Your AI can do the exact same thing.
And you can use a prompt just like this one. You're basically turning the tables and asking the AI to be your personal consultant. By letting it interview you, it gets all the rich context it needs to give you these amazing, personalized recommendations, ideas you probably would have never thought of on your own.
Okay, strategy 2. This is a great place to start. Think about the parts of your job that you absolutely hate. The tedious, soul-crushing stuff. For Adam Reimer, who's a ranger with the National Park Service, that dreaded task was paperwork.
This story is just wild. So Adam hated that replacing a single symbol carpet tile meant 2 or 3 days of paperwork. But after learning to collaborate with AI, he got an idea. And in just 45 minutes, by just describing what he wanted in plain English, he built a simple tool that automated the entire painful process.
And here's the punchline. Get this. That little tool Adam built in less than an hour is now being used all across the National Park Service. And this year alone, it's projected to save 7,000 days of human work. That's the power of one person changing their mindset.
Now for a really powerful kind of next-level strategy, using your AI to get ready for difficult human conversations. We've all been there, right? Dreading that tough talk with a coworker or your boss. Well, your AI teammate can actually help you practice.
The way this works is just fascinating. You give the AI the context. You say something like, okay, you are my colleague, Sarah. She's really detail-oriented and super worried about the project deadline. We need to talk about a change in plans. Please respond as she would. The AI then creates a profile and role plays as Sarah. You can practice how you'll start the conversation, and afterward, the AI will give you feedback from Sarah's perspective. It's an unbelievable way to build empathy and really hone your communication skills.
So, these strategies are incredibly powerful, but they all point to a deeper truth about what creativity even means now. In this new age of AI, getting that first answer, that first idea, that's not the finish line anymore. The real work, the creative work, begins after you get past good enough.
This might be the single best definition of creativity I've ever heard, and it came from a 7th grader. It's so simple, but so profound. As humans, we have this tendency to find a solution that's just good enough, and then we stop. But real creativity has always been about pushing past that first, easy answer.
And this, right here, is both the greatest gift and the biggest danger of AI. It can spit out a good enough email or a decent blog post in seconds. It makes mediocrity completely effortless. So our job, as the human in the partnership, is to take that starting point and work with our AI teammate to push it, to sculpt it into something truly exceptional.
It all comes down to this one simple sentence. If someone asks you how you use AI, maybe the most powerful response you can give is, I don't. Because that one phrase captures this entire mindset shift. It's not a tool I use, it's a partner. I work with it. And so that's the final question I want to leave you with. Thinking about your own work, your projects, your goals, even those tasks you dread. How are you going to stop just using AI and start truly working with it? Because the answer to that question could change absolutely everything.